Okay, back for video number 2. Those that watched the first video, thank you. I know it was kind of lengthy, so I'll try to keep it to where it's short this time. I was told it was way too long. For me to show you maintenance that needs to be done around the household here and there, first thing you have to do is know what you're working with. So this may be a waste of time for some people, but I know there's some people out there that don't know what basic hand tools are. So that's my goal today, is to show you basic hand tools that probably every household should have if they don't, and then a few extras that you don't necessarily need but that come in handy. There's a long list of tools that I could tell you that I wish I had that I don't, that around the house it would just make little jobs easier. But that's, most of the time, if it's something you're getting into you really don't know, it's better to call a professional anyway, if you don't know what you're doing on that or don't have the right tools, because it in today's world, it's with all the new materials and technologies and stuff, sometimes you got to have expensive tools to do it. But these are just basics, something that, like I say, everybody should have. Just get you a little cheap toolbox, throw these in, at least have them for in an emergency, or if you're just trying to tinker around with something. So here we go. Most everybody needs to know this. Of course, this is a screwdriver. This is what they consider a Phillips head screwdriver. Some people have different names for it. They may call it a cross or something of that nature. But this is actually a number 2. They make different sizes in these. Number 1 is a little bit smaller than this, and a number 3 is actually a little larger. So they do have different types of screw heads as far as size. A majority of anything you run across is probably going to be a number 2. Same for the slotted screwdriver or flathead, whichever you prefer to call it. If you can see that, they have different sizes in those as well. And even with the Phillips, they go to a micro head for like glasses and things like that, to where, you have to have a magnifying glass in order to work on them. This is a go-to screwdriver for me, just because it has a little bit of everything. These bits come out. You got a 1/4 inch for hex screws. You pull that out, you have a 5/16. Then you also have a number 1 Phillips and a slotted. And then on the other side you have a number 2 Phillips and slotted. If you pull this out, you have a lot of electrical, and that's what this screwdriver is kind of meant for, is AC and electrical. These are square head screws, and a lot of times you'll find those in breaker panels and things like that. Also has 1/4. If you pull that out, you have, this is AC industry here. This is for valve cores. You can use that on tires or anything like that to pull out. And this right here is a removal tool for cores that are broken. So you may not necessarily need anything like this, but just they have 6-in-1. This is actually a 15-in-1. And then this opening right here is actually 3/8. So you can get most any hex head screws or slotted screws or Phillips screws. They do make these that have like a Torx head, which is, a lot of people call them star bits. I haven't come across one that has hex or Allen heads for those type of screws, but you normally would get a wrench for that. Tape measure. That's pretty much a everyday project if you're hanging pictures or anything like that. A level. This is what they consider a torpedo level. It's just got your water level bubble. You can do 45s. Do it this way to level. They do make these in different lengths. For pictures and things like this is probably good, unless you're getting into the bigger ones, and then you'd have like 2-foot level, 4-foot, 6-foot, whatever you need. These are what a lot of people would refer to as channel locks. These are just adjustable pliers. Channel Lock is actually a brand that was, I don't know if they were the first ones to come out, but that just kind of gives you an idea of why they're called that. and they will adjust. They make these in different sizes as well. These do good for a lot of little plumbing projects that you may have. Needle nose pliers. These are good for getting into tight spots. You can also use them for holding screws or nails or anything like that to start them. And most of them have a side cutter built into them. If you're doing any little wiring projects or anything like that, it will actually cut small metals. These are actually side cutters. This isn't a necessity around the house. I mean, if you have a little bit of wiring projects, if you're doing something, if you feel comfortable enough doing that, that's what these are typically for. More so, you'd find something to this nature, which would be, a lot of people will call this a crescent wrench. Again, that's a brand. This is an adjustable wrench, and they make these in different lengths and sizes. This here happens to be a 10-inch. I've got some that I use at work that go down to 3.5 or 4-inch, and it's just for smaller, tighter spots. And they will make these up to, I mean, pretty much any size that any manufacturer makes. Different ones make different sizes. The biggest one I've probably ever used was a 14-inch. I'd rather use a regular wrench if I need it that big. This here is what people would call maybe vice grips or locking pliers. Vice grip would be a brand name also. Of course, you can see these are generics. I don't use these very often here at the house. At work I do. But these will actually, you can tighten it and lock it down, and it'll hold a bolt or whatever you may be trying to get loose, and then you just flip this lever and it unlocks, and you can adjust those out also to lock in a different spot for larger or smaller bolt, screws, whatever you're trying to get out. These are good for stuff that's broken off, mainly screws. If the head breaks, you can always lock down on that and actually twist them out. Of course, this, everybody should know what this is. This is a claw hammer. They make different types of hammers. This is going to be your most common one. And this, I mean, it's this is a smaller one that's not, I wouldn't consider this a framing hammer. Just kind of, I keep a little one like this for just everyday things, hanging pictures, whatever you may have, just in a small toolbox. This here, and they make these in different shapes, sizes, and everything. But this is a 3/8 ratchet wrench that you can reverse, and then your sockets will go on that. They make these in 1/4, 3/8, half, 3/4, 1-inch, depending on how big you get. But for a household, 1/4 and 3/8 is probably going to be big enough for anything you need. And this, more than likely, is not a necessity, but you can buy little kits with, you know, maybe a 15-20 piece kit, even a cheap one, just to get most of your standard or metric. The ratchet wrench may not be able to get in. These are just box end wrenches is what they call these. This one here is a 9/16. They sell these in kits also. I was just kind of showing you these for examples. And then this is a ratcheting box end wrench. And this one just happens to be 3/4, but that was just to show you all the different kinds you can get. They make these in all kind of different brands and styles. And most of these tools that I have here, not all of them, I would say your screwdrivers, tape measure, hammer, maybe your adjustable wrench and locking pliers, needle nose, stuff like that I would keep at the house just for your normal everyday thing. A lot of your hardware stores, whether it be big box stores, local hardware stores, Walmart, any of your retail shops, they all carry cheaper tools. And just to have something around the house, if you need a doorknob tightened or whatever, I'd highly suggest something, either a 6-in-1 or something. That way you don't have to keep up with 5 or 6 screwdrivers. You just got one, and you're not going to be using it every day, so it'll work out a lot better for you. If you want to get the higher priced ones, they are better quality, I can tell you that. This is a Klein, which is, I love Klein tools, so I'm kind of partial to them. Just something where you can do your own basic repairs so that you don't have to call somebody out. save yourself a little bit of money. But if you don't know exactly what you're doing, you need to call a professional just to make sure it gets done right and safe. Pick the right tool for what you need, and try to see if you can save yourself a little money by doing it yourself. Everybody can do that. It just some people are more skilled at it than others because we've been doing it a little longer, but everybody's capable of it. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot me a comment, and I'll try to help you out as much as I can. Like, share, and hopefully you get some good info out of this. Thanks for watching.